We live. Okay, let's see. I think I need to wipe it. See if I can wipe it. Hold, please. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Let's wait for everybody to come on. Let's copy link. Okay, let's share. Make sure everybody is ready to go. Give me a second. It is 6:05. Let's get started. Hold on. Let me make sure we share everything and everywhere so that everybody has the opportunity to come on. Normally, I go live on Facebook, and today we're doing it on YouTube, where I would like to universally start creating, or going live. I don't want to only be on Facebook because not everybody has a Facebook. And granted, you could say, well, if they wanted to follow you, they would get Facebook. But no, that's not what we're doing here. So please let me know if you can hear me. And we are going to start. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by your community. I got it. Okay. So we are going to start by, let me drop my links in there. First and foremost, let's give the oops, it. No, let's do that. No, let's, no. Oh my God, seriously? All right. First and foremost, we're going to, let me give you guys the link to my about me a little bit. Well, read a little bit about who I am. There's a little synopsis as to who I am, the kind of work that I do, my blog, my YouTube channel, the services available, or where ways you can work with me. And currently, that's only I'm only offering intuitive readings. Eventually, I will offer guidance sessions, but at the moment, I'm just sticking to intuitive readings. You will also find a link on the events page to the Women's Circle that's happening tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm sorry, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So be sure to sign up. You have to sign up in order to attend, because that is how you'll be receiving the link to the gathering. Okay. So let's see. Let me give you guys the link to the Women's Circle tomorrow, so that you guys can jump on there. All right, there you go. You can sign up there for the Women's Circle. Now, let's see, what else do we have on? What's going on? I think that's it. So I wanted to come on tonight. As you guys know, tonight is the full moon in Virgo. That happened overnight. You can still have that energy tonight, but it did happen overnight. Of course, messing with the brows. You guys know how it is when you're working with your brows. Sometimes they do great things, sometimes they don't. They actually do great things on their own. Like they'll do great things here, but together they're not. But anyway, I post the link to my website as well as the link to sign up for the Women's Circle. The Women's Circle happens tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Once you click on the events page, you're going to see a brief synopsis on the announcement as to what the Women's Circle consists of. And what it is it's a safe space for us women to gather to, number one, show up for ourselves, and number two, show up for each other to support and encourage each other. We're literally just having, regular, no pressure conversation about a different topic that I'll be picking. And we're literally just conversing, laughing, sharing stories if you want to, and just being there for one another and understanding and supporting one another. The topic for tomorrow's gathering is accountability. Last month it was self-worth, and this month it is accountability. So I encourage you all ladies, my women, I encourage you all to sign up and to participate, not even participate, just show up and see if you jive with it or not. And if not, you're free to go, or you're free to just make that the only one that you attend. But I think that you're going to like it and you're going to want to attend more. They're going to happen roughly every month. Roughly every month. Okay. And I will always post an announcement with the link so that you can sign up on my website. Let's see. As you guys know, I do offer intuitive reading. So if you're interested in purchasing a reading, you can do so by visiting my website under Work with Me tab, and there you will find the link or the button to book a reading. Now, first and foremost, I'd like you all to know that every reader is different, and not every reader is for everyone, and not everyone is for a specific reader. For example, I might not be guided to work with every person that would like a reading, and it's a two-way street. Okay. Secondly, I'd like you guys all to know that at the time of booking, you have to also complete the payment option. You can't just book it and then detour and just let your booking go through. It's not supposed to, but sometimes it does. But so the payment process must be completed at the time of booking. If for some odd reason that has happened, your booking does not even get acknowledged, even if the system automatically sends a confirmation email. But if you know for a fact that you did not pay, you can completely disregard that email, and I'll actually just cancel the confirmation if payment isn't received. Just to make things simple, just make sure that you follow the entire process on the website from booking all the way through payment, just to ensure that your booking is accounted for and paid for. Okay, scheduled and paid for. So as again, tonight we're talking about full moon shit, right? If you have any questions about anything that I message me in the million ways that I provided here in the description, or just you can ask a question in the chat. Now, another thing I'd like to mention is when you are working with anyone, not just myself, not even someone that offers services, but when you're communicating with anyone, please be courteous, be kind, and be courteous. Communicate the exact same way that you would like someone to communicate with you. That's extremely important. If for any reason that doesn't happen, your message will not be acknowledged. Or for example, if you say something in the chat, it'll be just deleted. Okay, remember, practice common courtesy. It's a two-way street. So invest the energy that you would like someone to reciprocate. Okay. Same thing goes when you reach out to me in a private message of any sort. If you have a general question, I don't mind answering them. Of course, once you approach with common courtesy, I don't mind answering general questions. But if you come at me or you're asking a reader, or anyone for that matter, a question that you would ask in a reading, it's going to be deleted. It's not going to be acknowledged, because that is something that you would book a reading for, so that you could get things out. Okay. My internet's kind of funny. Oh, I should have connected to the Ethernet in my room. Damn it. I should have done that. I should go to my daughter's room. No, because then I'll have to end the stream. Not the end the stream. I'll just have to walk over there. It's okay, because then her cat's going to be acting up, and I haven't set up my thing. So we're just going to do it here. It shouldn't glitch though, because I'm a little closer to the Wi-Fi. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Let's see if I need light. If you have any questions in regards to anything that I've said, please feel free to ask a question or to, we don't need that. Please feel free to reach out and ask whatever it is that you would like to know. Oh, that works a lot better. You guys can see my face. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think that's all that I wanted to get started. Thanks, but I will provide them for you at this current moment, so that you can just click on whatever you need to work. Click on whatever it is you like to look at. There you go. Okay, so that's how you book a reading. So we have my general website, we have the Women's Circle sign up page, and we have the Work With Me link to book an intuitive reading. Let's see, I believe that's it. I will be up. The blog hasn't been updated since I think like July. That's going to be updated here in the next couple weeks or so. I've lagged completely, my own personal journey in regards to my spiritual development and, whatever else comes to play into life. But it will be updated. I've already been scolded by my ancestors and my divine spiritual support team. Well, my entire divine spiritual support team, that if I'm going to have a blog, then I need to actually contribute to it and keep it active. And that's what I want to do. I want to keep it up to date is what I want to do. But you know what? On behind the scenes, when it comes to having a blog, there's so much ridiculous spam. It's like you have to go delete like 84 spam, comments that are just sitting there. So I changed everything to comments need to be approved, so that they won't hit the blog before I even get a chance to look at them. That's meaningless stuff. That's stuff for me. Okay. So if you guys are here, let me know that you guys are here, and let me know if you guys can hear me. Just, talk to me on the chat so we can see what's up. Now, normally when you upload something to YouTube, when you upload a video, you would record it in advance, edit it, and then upload it. I don't do that. Anytime I work on YouTube, every single thing is going to be live, whether people are there or not, because for me, it's just so much easier. It's just cut and dry, get to the point, and I'm there, right? Life is life. I can't edit out every single thing that I say in life, so I'm gonna do that here. That's because it happened. It was either something that took place on one of my niece's page or my brother's page, because we also interact with, when we work. Our work is sometimes intertwined depending on what it is that we're addressing. But for the most part, every single thing is going to be live. Now, don't think that, oh my gosh, I missed the live. Don't even worry about it. Every single video that I do, about 95% is going to be a live situation, because it's easier. It's recorded. You guys all can hear me, so that's that. All right, so the two decks that we're going to be working with today, I have been establishing a relationship with this deck, which is the Spirit Messages. Favorite deck is this one, Shamanic Healing. Okay. All right, let's see. You guys like my daughter's beautiful artwork? Okay. So let's talk full moon things. As you guys all know, organized, so on and so forth. Obviously, that's just a general idea of it. I am not a practitioner of astrology. Therefore, I cannot speak on astrology. I know I'm a Virgo, and I know what my sign means. So I can give you just a little general, or general ideas or keywords as to what, stands behind the sign of Virgo. Again, every Virgo is going to be different, and that's perfectly okay, obviously. So let's talk about Virgo. Well, what are some things that you guys normally do for Virgo? For full moons. You guys, the two most common ones are, number one, making moon water, and two is full moon rituals, where you set intentions and you release things. That is what Virgo is about. Virgo is a time Virgo is a time focused on, well, what are we clearing out the old for? What do we, it's so hard. I don't know how to let go of it. I don't know how to clear it out. I don't know what that means. And then sometimes we find it difficult to do so because we're so afraid of what's next. Well, if I let go of that, then what? I can't live without it. I'm depending on that. It's important to me. It's in my life for a reason. And you're right. Everything is in our life for a reason, but everything runs its course. Okay. Everything has a chapter that it closes. Everything has a chapter that is in our life, and every chapter comes to a close. And we all know when it's time to release things that no longer serve us. Okay, we know, but we don't do that. We're afraid of the empty space thereafter, or afraid of the thereafter, because we're just so used to Okay, sorry. Okay, we're so used to. Okay, why don't I know the answer? What's the reason? What's the mystery? It's just having to know all the time. Now, the problem with that is a very 3D type approach to the world. Can cause challenges when it comes to our spiritual development. Why? Because when it comes to our spiritual development, a bunch of our spiritual development relies on surrendering to the why, and you just surrender. Usually when you surrender and you release it, you only have the opportunity to which again is a time for clearing out the old and making room for the new. So one of the ways that you can do is, I'm sure there's a million ways, but I'm just going to throw out a couple of ways. Reach out to Archangel Michael to cut those cords. Okay. Archangel Michael is definitely the angel. Number one, he's an angel, the archangel of protection. And secondly, he also helps us cut cords and release things. So definitely reach out to Archangel, do some research, and also reach out to him, talk to him, spend some time, however you communicate with your divine spiritual support. I am very, very, I'm going to close out these other windows to see if I'm very glitchy. I can tell because my face. Okay. but it's up to us to figure out which archangel is who we're going to reach out to work with whatever we have going on in our lives. Again, there's a gajillion archangels, but look up if you want to talk to, and you can look into and create new full moon rituals for closure and release. Now, number one, closure is for closure and release. Now, number one, closure is in order to have closure. The conversation didn't go. I need to see him or her just closure. No, you don't. Really don't. Because who will decide that that's what closure looks like? Closure happens within. And if it requires you to see someone to obtain closure, then you are not going to close anything. You are literally not going to release anything. I believe that all that is necessary is for you to have the conversation within yourself, because we determine what we're going to keep, what we're going to let go, where we decide what feelings and emotions we're going to assign to people and scenarios. So again, closure takes place within us. We decide how we're going to close that shit up and let it go. Okay. One of the health process along is having or creating a new moon ritual. You can easily Google it. There's tons of things, tons of information that'll come through on Google. Make sure you guys look up or legit everything or believe everything. Secondly, people on social media that have taught me so many things, and they are legit. Granted, I'm grateful and I'm fortunate enough to have been guided to legit, spiritual practitioners on social media, and I am very grateful for that. Everything that they have shared, aside from the memes and whatnot, personal experience or personal information, it has taught me something, and it has served as a teaching tool for my as a team. It's like Facebook and Instagram are two different worlds, and although the same people are there, it's just different. For me, with the teaching, the school of, and check out those Instagrams. If you know practitioner that you follow on Instagram, just looking at and it's just a domino effect. It's just one person tied to another, and it's a network of people that are all connected and associated. And that is actually how I came to follow all these amazing and wonderful people on Instagram. So shout out, because they are amazing. I'm so grateful. There are a few that are coming up to mind, and I can't, because I'm going to completely, let's just recap a little bit. Again, full moon is the time to bring close to the yin. So bring things to an end. So clear out the old and make room for the new. Reach out to Archangel Michael to cut those cords and look into creating new full moon rituals, closure and for closure and release. Okay. Whatever it is that make sure that there are a couple things I wanted to make sure that I didn't leave out for tonight. And so I made notes. See, notitas. I made notes, which is a huge deal for me. Yeah. One more confidential. Oh man. I'm gonna have to see. I think I should have listened to my daughter's room. That's where the Wi-Fi is. Anyway, these are my daughter's room. That's where the Wi-Fi is. Anyway, these are we're going to be talking. Sign up, or that we're being asked to focus on and address, are boundaries. Everybody knows we always have to work with boundaries, and oftentimes, for the most part, when you hear the word making that line, make sure people cross those lines, teaching people how to treat you so that they understand that you will not tolerate any disrespect, or you're not going to teaching people how to treat you so that they understand that you will not tolerate any disrespect, or you're not going to continue you want to break the cycle of any old previous behavior you had. And that's boundaries. And 1,000 more than I'm sure that you're probably coming up with. And speaking of which, because it is time to focus on boundaries, I said positive about that. I need to create positive affirmations regarding boundaries. And I actually did have that written down. But my ancestors have told me that is something I Google positive affirmation. But I recommend that you don't use what you see, but instead use it as a reference point. Okay. So use it as inspiration. So, boundaries, I don't know affirmations. They don't come to my head. What do I write? Look it up, whatever method of resource, whatever method of research that you use, do that and read everything and take it in as a source of inspiration and a reference point. Get a piece of paper, writing and everything, putting things together. Okay. It's not a horrible thing, but I don't recommend that you use every single thing that you find on the internet. One, that belongs to someone. They will bring up or use them, but try to create something that is specific to you. So if you read an affirmation, be like, oh my God, that is seriously me. That's great. Write it down and adjust it so that it applies personally and specifically to your life. You might have some words missing. You might take some out. You might change the sentence altogether, but still conveying this. Always healing, always. And just a side note, I strongly recommend that everyone entitled for people to tiny therapy, not as a form of punishment, not as a form of, to reprimand you or to correct something, but because we take times as though their parents can't, they're too much for their parents. So someone else has to deal with them. Someone else has to, I've done wrong. I step with parents. They don't deal with me. So they have daughter is 16 and in the last probably 5 or 6 years has taught me how to be a parent to her. She has taught me how to parent in general. Because what I was doing was I was just coming at her. I was coming straight from, I cannot just, duplicate. She's literally taught me how to parent. She has taught me how to be perfectly. And having said that, what ended up happening while the core, I guess the foundation of discipline format ended up being different. It looks completely anything that I was taught or any way that I was raised, and oftentimes how my siblings do. Why? Because it is specific to her. It is specific to her mother. Come to the point where we have been able to communicate and just literally to converse and communicate, because I don't think I would have ever gotten to this point had felt like, granted, we're still mother and daughter, so of course there's always something happening that we can move along in a healthier way. Again, sometimes comments are thrown my way of like, your daughter's not perfect and you're not perfect. All those said it have decided that that's the theology or preconceived notion that they were going to assign to us, and that's not our problem. That's all yours. That's it. That's all it is. Okay, so let's regarding boundaries. Okay, boundaries for ourselves. Now, not boundaries like boundaries for society, or boundaries for external situations or external components. Not only yourself, but to the outside world. The world in which you function, the world in which you participate and you contribute. Okay, boundaries from within, from inside out. That's going to look different for everybody. So when you're talking to your friend about boundaries, you're having this, because to each and every one of us, and that's exactly what it is. That's what it is. Okay. So let's go back to boundaries. So one boundary, I always write them on Post-it notes, and you literally stick them all over your house, in the bathroom, on the medicine cabinet, on the fridge, inside. Every place that you can possibly. You can never have too many positive affirmations. Again, whether it's for boundaries or anything else, you can never have too many. But for right now, let's crank out some in regards to boundaries. And I don't have any examples off the top of my head because I haven't given it much thought for, and those serve as a nation or as opposed to actual being the affirmation you use. It's not a crime, but I would suggest that you come up with your own, because they're coming. Okay, let me just get it out. Boundaries for the purpose of healing, for daily organization, productivity, growth, understanding. That is how boundaries are being brought to our attention for in this full moon. Okay, again, are being brought to our attention for in this full moon. Okay, again, boundaries. Let's start working with that. Start brainstorming with that, or start taking those and the key terms in that, or the summary of that. Take it into your meditation, or write it down, or write it to, work. However you connect, how you yourself back to center or communicate with your divine spiritual support team, however way you do that, take this bubble, just take that in with you and see where it takes you, or see what you get, because I can assure you, just take that in with you and see where it takes you, or see what you get, because I can assure you that your guides are going to have your, anyone on your divine team, they're going to have something for you. But okay, granted, it doesn't have to stop, but you're working. Okay, let's see what else. Recap real quick about the things that we were talking about. Recap real quick about the things that we were talking about. Tomorrow is the Women's Circle. Today's 8 p.m. Pacific time. The topic of discussion / conversation is, in order to attend the Women's Circle, you have to sign up, and you can do so on my website. I have listed the link to sign up, and it's in the chat. It's Women's Circle sign up, and the link is attached. Please be sure you got to get the Zoom. Okay, so secondly, the Women's Circles will be happening approximately every month, and there will be a different topic of conversation. And again, this month on the topic of accountability. In addition to everything that we've talked about here tonight, okay? The Women's Circles are not recorded. They are in a present moment, and that's it. But you message with regards to our resources. What is meant for us, and it won't leave us. It'll be there. However, we've gotten we'll cross by doing, or we set goals, or we set these intentions, even vision boards, or these anything. We create these things that we wish to obtain, but because you use social media as a tool, you don't follow all these people on social media. That does not mean that that's all there is for you to learn. You can't just rely on the people from social media to the entire development. Get out there. Get out there. You have to do the work. It is our responsibility to create those steps. Again, some of them might pop up. Again, we are responsible for getting out there and doing the work. Okay, for creating the next step towards our goal, or the next step in our spiritual development. Almost here. Step in our spiritual development. Okay. Now I know that you guys, when you think, hold on, I have to close the curtains. Oh, please. Okay. Sorry about it. So yeah, we're responsible for those resources. Now let's talk resources. What does resources mean